All right, we're gonna do today a ball bounce across the stage, and the ball needs to start off stage and it needs to end off stage. So I'm gonna start by setting up a floor, and I'm gonna do an underdrawing like I did for the ball bounce in place so that I have a plan for my ball. I'm gonna do it with a 2-drop so that I can show momentum loss, and because this is the assignment for advance. But that's what I'm thinking. So you plan your trajectory, and depending on what kind of ball it is, you might want to alter that a little bit. So if the ball bounce starts off screen and then it comes on screen, it's similar to the other ball bounce in that you want to have some hang time. And then you want to have some stretch. And you want the ball to maintain its shape, its volume. See, now I think I might want to start over because, and that's okay, that's the point of animation. It's all trial and error. And I know you guys have a limited number of pieces of paper, so I understand that you want to be careful. But something I want to plan for is I want my stretchiest drawing to come right before my squash here, depending on how bouncy your ball is. And then the ball going back up is going to be its regular size again. And maybe a little bit of a stretch. And then some hang time. Not so much stretch coming down here. Not so much squash right here. And then it'll be off screen. So that's what I'm thinking. And we're gonna do this before we ever get to the secondary action. So we're gonna draw now each individual frame. So I'm gonna get rid of the first one. This is the one I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna look and see, I see that my ball kind of changes size a little bit. Volume, I should say. So I wanna make sure it matches. I feel like that's not quite big enough. Okay. So now I've got my plan for my ball bounce. And now, just like you did last time, you're gonna number your drawings. In the corner down there, 1. You give yourself a floor. And you're actually gonna say number 1 is done because it's gonna start off screen. And you can remove each page each time if you want, since you have a guiding plan already. And we're not really doing much flipping for this first one. And if you planned it correctly, you can pretty much just, number 2. And of course, there's other ways you could do it. You could do the floor shot as a separate layer. Obviously, in today's world with technology, this is not the way that it's done anymore. But this is a very good way to learn the basics to practice your drawing skills, to learn what traditional animation takes, and to become a better animator because of it. So one reason why you might want to keep your drawings stacked is so you can make sure your ball sizes are the same. So I'm going to, from here on for a few, I'm going to stack my drawings a little bit so that I can flip a little bit. And I want to just flip back and forth and make sure that my ball size is staying consistent. So 5 is going to be starting to get stretchy a little bit, but my volume still needs to be consistent. So now I'm going to go ahead and go down to just 5 and then the underdrawing. And now we're onto much stretchier, but we want to make sure the volume's the same. So flip back and forth. Make sure it looks like the same amount of liquid could be in each one there. And then this one is much stretchier, and so it needs to be a lot thinner if it's going to have the same amount of liquid. And it should pretty much be touching the ground. So now I'm going to see, does that seem like it would have the same liquid? Yeah, I think so. And I can't see too well, so I'm going to go ahead and go down to just 7. Eight. All right, here's our squash. So for the squash, again, the volume needs to be the same. And it got to be flat on the bottom there. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. Now this is a drawing that a lot of us missed on the last one, on the bounce back. I think it helps to have the ball in its correct form going back up, so it kind of like reconstitutes itself. And I'm going to go ahead and compare that to my drawing 1, or I should say 3. And I want to make sure they're like looking the same size. Okay, looking good. And I'm going to get down to just number 9. Remember, I'm numbering each drawing. I'm making a floor for each drawing. And now it's bouncing back up. And the reason why you drew your trajectory first is because this is back to our pose to pose and straight ahead. Going pose to pose on this works better, because if you try to draw straight ahead, you might end up making your ball, and a lot of people do this, they try to do it just on their own out of their head without doing the underdrawing, and their ball bounce doesn't look, it doesn't follow a line because they didn't plan it correctly. So the ball just looks wonky, like it just doesn't, I can't talk and animate. All right, so you're gonna do that. That one looks like it's getting a little bit big. I might have to check that drawing or beef up the previous one. That looks pretty good. I think this one maybe needs to be a little bit bigger. I think I tried to make it stretchy a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna do that for all of your drawings, and then we will shoot it.